Hello, my love, and welcome back to another episode of Mornings with Fer, hosted by yours truly, Fernanda Davila. If you do love this podcast, please make sure to subscribe and share it out to a friend. Today, I'm going to be helping you find 5 types of hobbies that will help change your life for the better. For starters, I want to tell you there is nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. Everything that you've gone through has made you the person that you are today, so don't let anyone tell you otherwise. We're all dealing with something different every single day, and you can't beat yourself up about it. But I think applying what I'm going to teach you today can definitely help you with bettering your lifestyle by making small little changes. We're going to dive right in. From the 5 hobbies that you should find, the first one is find a hobby that makes you money. Find a hobby that makes you money and that you love doing it, so you never get tired of making money. Find a hobby that feels right to you. Find a way to monetize that hobby and make it a business. Finding that first hobby will change your life for the better, because you will never wake up upset about having to go do something that you love. That will give you the energy to keep pushing yourself to continue becoming the best version of yourself every single day. For example, for me right now, my morning show is somewhat a hobby, but it's also my full-time. Why? Because of the fact that in the beginning, everything is hard, but I've accepted that I am a beginner, and I am not comparing my chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. Because they're really successful already. I am in the beginning of my journey. I do look up to those people so that I can become just as good as them or even better in my own way, trying to be as authentic as I can. But definitely my morning show is a hobby that I can monetize from, that also links to my podcast. Right now they are hobbies, but very soon I will be monetizing from the things that I love to do, and that is what continues to drive me every day to show up and do the best that I can. When I tell you guys that I am super happy about having 5 people through my chat or 5,000 people through my chat, it is because I know that it has the potential to make me money in the future. Even if it's not doing it right now, I know it has the potential to be very successful. If you, for instance, like to make jewelry and that is your hobby, guess what? You can go to your local farmer's market and start selling it there. You can open an Etsy shop and sell it online. When you start selling online, it is a world of endless opportunities because you have the biggest audience ever. Nowadays, everybody uses online to make their lives easier, especially for shopping. If you do want to start selling at a farmer's market, for example, we go to our local farmer's market every single Wednesday. That is where we get our veggies, our fruits, cute little homemade things. That is where we get a lot of the things that we need, because we love to support a small business. And also that reminds me that that person that shows up for that farmer's market that I've built relationship with is chasing their passions, their goals, their dreams, and they are doing something that they believe in. Never think that because you've tried and it didn't go great the first time, it is a complete fail or a screw up. Every single thing that you've gone through has made you the person that you are today. See it more as the person that you've become thanks to all the things that you've gone through, rather than focusing on the negative and the bad things that have happened that have led you to where you are today. Which leads me to our second kind of hobby. You should find a hobby that keeps you healthy and in shape. And I do not mean run to the gym and get a membership. If you're not the kind of person that likes to lift weights and likes to do particular workouts, what I mean by this is go for a walk, go for a jog, start rock climbing, do hikes, any activity that you can do that can get you up and going. By find a hobby that keeps you healthy and in shape. It is literally anything that you can do that you love, and it'll keep you motivated to keep showing up and stay consistent. Consistency is one of the hardest parts in anything for this crazy world we live in. But guess what? If you find a hobby that you really love enough and it is helping your health on a daily basis, I think that is a win all around. So let that sink in. And think about trying a new hobby. When was the last time that you tried something new, something different? Whether it was a Zumba class, if you like dancing, or a sport. Whether it's indoors or outdoors, as long as it gets your body up and going, get yourself moving, and you do it consistently at least a couple times a week, that is another great kind of hobby that you should try to apply on your daily life. Me, for instance, I used to try going to the gym, but I've shared this with you guys. I would go to the gym, but I was in in that really silly area that I was trying to impress people when I went to the gym, and it was either to take a selfie or to look all cute at the gym. That was the biggest waste of time I ever put into going to the gym because I wasn't doing it for the right reasons. So now that I am an adult and I look back at it, I was a really silly teenager, I guess, and that was a phase that I had to go through to become the person that I am today. What was really big for me though was doing silks before I had my kids. I would hang the aerial silks anywhere at a beach. I was living in Florida back then. It was the most therapeutic kind of self-connection that I've ever done. And if you've ever done aerial silks or you've seen people do aerial silks, you would know that it is a kind of sport that you use every single muscle of your body, like literally from your pinky toe to your hair almost. Like, it is wild behavior how in a sport like that, or I've seen my husband, he loves rock climbing. It is such a different kind of strength that you build because you're not lifting weights like when you go to the gym and you get all bulky. You literally have to develop a strength from your inner self to lift the entire weight of your body, regardless of how much you weigh when you start. That is one of the craziest sports I've ever done, one of the craziest hobbies I've ever taken upon myself. And now doing this podcast, and as I was discussing with my morning show, I'm strongly considering to pick up that hobby again. And the beauty of it is I can hang the silks in my living room. I have a high ceiling house, so I'm thinking that is what we're going to be doing this weekend. That is one of the beauties of me doing my podcast. I come into realization of things that I am slacking on myself. As I teach you guys, I am also learning as part of my journey, and I think that is such a beautiful thing. Which leads me to our third kind of hobby. Find a hobby that lets you express your creativity. Find something that you love to do that pushes you to use your creativity, whether it's singing, dancing, painting, photography, video editing, music, whatever it is that gets your creative side awakened and it just makes you happy to do it. Literally find a hobby that gets you out of your comfort zone and you just go for it. It doesn't matter who's gonna say what about what it is that you're doing. So in this case, find a hobby that you can just express yourself with creativity, which sometimes can also lead back to hobby number one, which is the one that you can monetize from. For instance, if you love to do pottery and it's been a really long time since you haven't done it, but next week you're gonna try a class, you're gonna fall in love with pottery again, and then you can open a YouTube channel or a TikTok and start streaming live. People will love what you do. They will all of a sudden start to follow you and subscribe and want your products. You can open an Etsy and start selling online. You can open a TikTok shop storefront and start selling there. My point is, you can turn your passion into a way to monetize. You're gonna knock out 2 of the 5 hobbies that are gonna be helping you with making your life better. Whether it's pottery, jewelry, gardening, whatever it is, all those things can give you a way to monetize if you start reaching out to the right people. Not enough people take time out of their day to just express their creativity. They're so worried and overwhelmed and drowning in their thoughts that they don't pick up a pencil or a paintbrush or an instrument and just feel creative for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour if you're that lucky. But take time for yourself and let your brain use that part to express yourself, which now leads me to the 4th kind of hobby. The 4th kind of hobby you're gonna have to find is a hobby that builds your knowledge and improves your intelligence. With that being said, find a hobby that is reading, or go back to school, or take classes. If you're not green and growing, you're brown and dying. That quote is very true, because if you're not finding ways to better yourself in all ways, not only physically but emotionally and mentally, you are not doing any better. If you're living the same year that you've lived the past 5 years and nothing has changed, this is your sign that you have to start taking action so that you can start molding yourself to being the person that you want to be, happy with yourself, happy to wake up every morning and chase those goals and dreams instead of just surviving and complaining and whining about the things that happen every day. So what you're going to do is you're going to find a hobby that builds your knowledge and improves your intelligence. That can be going back to school. That can be taking night classes, reading more books, pick up a course on YouTube. You can learn so many things. Nowadays, it is at the tip of your fingers to let your brain work and absorb information. You can hire a life coach. You can try learning a new language. These are all ideas for you to see what works for you, and that is why I'm giving you so many different options on each of the types of hobbies that you should have. If you can find one hobby in each of the sections that we are covering today, your life will improve. You will notice such a significant change in your life by starting to do things that you love. I have a fun fact for you. Did you know that 33% of high school grads never end up reading another book? Like if somebody's 88 today and they fall into that percentage category, it has been over 70 years that they did not read another book. That is so insane to me when I came across that doing my research for my podcast. It blew my mind because I fall into that category. I can read on social media. I can read the desktop, the screen, whatever it is. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, but the last time that I physically picked up a book was way too long ago, and that was a reality check for me too. So that is why I come with my morning show and my podcast to share with you guys little things that kind of keep you centered. And by the way, before I jump into the fifth kind of hobby, which is one of the most important ones, I do want to invite you to tune into my morning show on TikTok if you want to engage and become a part of our little community. It is amazing. The quality of the people that show up for my morning show. It is Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. PST. You're going to find it in the link of my YouTube channel. It is Mornings with Fed, and I would love an opportunity to get to know you live on TikTok. Now I'm going to tell you the fifth kind of hobby that you should have. The fifth kind of hobby that you have to find is one that improves your mindset. And to me, it's one of the most important ones because it's the one that's going to help you with overcoming any sort of childhood traumas, any fears, any insecurities, those things that just make you a better person mentally, which is one of the most difficult things to obtain. For this one in particular, I would recommend for you to hire a life coach, join a women's group or a men's group, take a retreat. If you have a drinking problem, go to your first AA class, start reading books. Make sure you're always trying to find ways to evolve as a human. Find the little things that make a difference in the long term of your life. It is all about the thing that you do today that's going to affect your tomorrow. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. It doesn't matter what you did 5 years ago. But it does matter how you end your day today and how you are planning to wake up tomorrow. Are you going to snooze the alarm? Are you going to make your bed? Those are the little things that make you the person that you want to be in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. But if you don't take action today, it's going to be really hard to become the best version of yourself if you can't control yourself today. I'm personally trying to become the best life coach that I can. So I hired a life coach myself and I am learning from the best. So why do I do this? Because I cannot compare my chapter 1 to their chapter 20, but I can sure as hell try to pick up what they're putting down every single day, and I'm not afraid to be a beginner. I'm gonna do this and it's only up to me. You are the only one yanking the e-brake every single time that you have an opportunity to try something new, to step out of your comfort zone. Your e-brake, your panic mode hits super hard, and you have to stop doing that, because if you don't stop doing that, nobody's gonna save you. So I'm gonna wrap it up for this beautiful podcast. You are gonna go ahead and write these down, okay? Get paper, get pencil, a pen, your notepad, whatever the heck it is that you take your notes on, as long as you're gonna work with what you got. If you took anything at all from this podcast, please make sure you write this down, because it is little simple things that will make the biggest impact in your life to start becoming the best version of yourself. You are gonna find these 5 hobbies in these different sections, so make sure to write these down. Number 1, find a hobby that makes you money. Number 2, find a hobby that keeps you healthy and in shape. Number 3, find a hobby that explores your creative side, a creative outlet. Number 4, you're gonna build your knowledge and improve your intelligence. And most importantly, number 5, you're gonna find a hobby that improves your mindset and helps you become the best version of yourself every single time that you are applying these hobbies, because you have to remember, a hobby is something that you enjoy, is something that you love, is something that makes you happy, and it will help you to continue doing it because you get so much reward from it. It is not a task, it is not a chore, it is something that you enjoy doing, and that is what should drive you and give you the energy to keep pushing yourself to become the best at whatever hobby it is that you choose to pick up. I hope your day is filled with positivity, with energy, with encouragement, motivation. This is it for me today, but if you did like my podcast, please make sure to subscribe, share it out to a friend, and stay tuned for more episodes of Mornings with Fer. All the best. Thank you.